my name is Rohit. In this particular video, I'm going to discuss about tuples and its built-in functions, and I'm going to show you how to create a tuple and what are the built-in functions and how it works practically. So before we start, let us know what exactly is a tuple. Tuple is an ordered collection of elements of different data types separated by comma and enclosed within the parentheses. So what is the difference between the list and a tuple? Lists are basically enclosed within the square brackets, but whereas a tuple is enclosed within the parentheses. Tuple is immutable. What do we mean by immutable? So immutable as in, let us consider we have created a tuple and we have inserted some of the elements inside it. And for example, if we want to change any element inside it once after creating a tuple, we cannot do it. We cannot change the elements or we cannot add elements to it. So this is what immutability. So once the elements are created, it cannot be changed. That is how immutability works. So when we started discussing about data structures like list and tuples, we have talked about accessing of these elements, and not only in data structures but also when it comes to strings, we have discussed how to access each and every element present inside it. So in order to access the elements, there are two techniques. One is indexing and another one is slicing. So what do you mean by indexing? Indexing is nothing but a technique which is used to extract only one element from a data structure or a string. That is where we use indexing. In order to extract a group of elements, then in that case we basically use the concept of slicing. Now here in line number 1, we are creating a tuple. So we have created a tuple tup1 which is having elements like Rohit, Sanam, 1, 1.5 and 5 by 16. Why the elements are of different data types? According to the definition of tuple, it supports different data types. It supports the elements of different data types separated by comma and enclosed within the parentheses. So when I try to run this, it basically gets executed successfully. When I try to access what exactly is stored in the variable tup1, when I try to do that, it is going to return all the elements present inside it. So there is a inbuilt function type. So what does it do? So this type function is basically used to check what type of data is being stored in the particular variable tup1. So when I try to run this, it is going to return me the type of the data or the data structure the type of the data which is being stored in the particular variable, that is tuple. As we have seen in list, we can create empty lists. So this here also in tuples we can also create empty tuples. These empty tuples can be created in two ways. One, by using the simple parenthesis, or by using a built-in function called as tuple. So in order to create a empty tuple, the first way is to directly write the inbuilt function tuple tup1. So when I try to check this, for example, try to check the type of this, then when I try to run this, it is going to do. But if you will be getting a doubt. Here we have created tup1, and with the same variable I am also creating the same variable tuple with the empty tuple. But if I try to change into tup2 also, it is going to so when I try to change here tup2, then here also when I try to change it to tup2, then in that case also it is going to return that the type of tup2 is nothing but tuple, because you may be in a dilemma that already tup1 is being created. So when I try to do a type of tup1 here, you may think that the type of this is showing as tuple for this tup1 variable. But whenever you create a new cell with the same variable, the same variable will get created newly, but it will not overwrite on the older variable which is being declared previously. And the other way to create an empty tuple is nothing but by specifying parentheses. Why are we specifying parentheses? According to the definition of tuple, the elements are included within the parentheses. That is the reason we can also use normal parentheses in order to create an empty tuple. So when I try to do a type of this, we are also going to return tuple. So in list, for example, in list, let me create a cell here let us consider I am creating a list L. So whenever I try to create a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if I try to keep a comma here, it is going to give not, it is not going to throw any error. But when I try to check type of L, it is going to show list. Why? Because it is enclosed within the square brackets. In the same way, if you, irrespective, if you want, you can give a comma, or else also it is also going to work. But whereas if you whereas in tuple, whenever you are creating a tuple with one element, comma is compulsory. But whereas in list, even irrespective if you give comma after the one element, after the last element, or if you will not give any comma after the last element, it works. But whereas in tuple, it will not work. I'll show you the difference. So when I try to check the type of this, it is going to give me tuple. But if you in tuple, if you not specify comma after this first element, that is row length, which is specified in the form of string, then when I try to check this particular type of this tuple, then it is going to give me a string. So that is the reason whenever we are creating a tuple, you have to especially with one element, we have to basically specify comma after the particular element, but else it is going to consider that as a string. Now from the above output, it is clearly mentioned here that from the above output I can say that if we are specifying one element in tuple, we have to also give a comma, else it will be considered as a string. Now I am creating another tuple known as number, wherein I am storing first 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So when I try to run this, it is going to get executed successfully. Now when I try to check the type of this, it is going to be written a tuple. So what are the different built-in functions present in tuple? So dir is nothing but it is also a built-in function, and inside of dir we will specify the variable name in which the type of the data is being stored. As we are here dealing with tuples, in tuples I stored the variable of the particular tuple, that is number, which I have stored in the line number 20. And when I try to run this, when I try to do a dir over the particular variable, it is going to return all the classes and the built-in functions which supports that particular data structure. So when I try to run this, it is going to give me all these. So from this output, we can say that count and index, these are the two built-in functions present in it. But apart from these two functions, this tuple will also support other two functions, that is length tuple and also minimum and maximum. So what does length of number do? So length of number, it is going to return the number of elements present inside the tuple. So it is going to return the length of that particular tuple. So minimum of number, it is going to return the minimum value from that particular tuple. Max of number, it is going to return the maximum number from the tuple, so on and so forth. Now, and as I have told you previously, there is a function known as tuple, which is used to either create an empty tuple or to typecast from one data structure to tuple. So what is typecasting? Typecasting is nothing but it is the process of converting from one data type to another data type. So here in this case, I have created list 1. So when I try to have a look at the type of this after running this, so when I have a look at type of this typt of list1, then in that case it is going to return me as list. But I don't want this to be in list, I want it to be in tuple. So in that case, I have to use a inbuilt function, that is tuple, which is going to convert this particular list1 into tuple. So when I try to do this, and when I try to have a look at the type of list1, type of list1, then wait a second, let me run this. When I basically have a look at this, so in order to get the output as tuple, I have to store it in another variable, and when I try to do type of a in that, it is then it is going to return that from list 1, from the list data structure, it is being typecasted to tuple, and I have stored it in a new variable, and when I check the type of the particular variable, it is going to print me as tuple. So as I have told you previously that there are two inbuilt functions which tuple supports, that is the count and the index. So what does the count do? Whenever we create an tuple, the count function is going to count the number of times that particular element has occurred. For example, let us consider I have created a tuple number no, which is equals to 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. So this is the tuple which I have created. In this tuple, if I try to do a number dot count, so when we see the dot string, it is going to return the number of occurrences of the particular element present in the tuple. So if I try to give the argument as 1, so it is going to return the number of times that particular element 1 has occurred. So it is going to give me the count, that is, it is telling that number 1, the element 1 has occurred twice in this particular tuple. In the same way, when I try to do a count function on the previous tuple, that is the number tuple which consists of first 6 numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then in that case it is going to give me the count, that so it states that the element 1 present inside this tuple number has occurred only once. Now when I try to do an index, what does this index do? Index will also take the argument of the argument as the element. So in order to clearly understand that, this index function, what it does is, after creating a tuple, it will take, if we specify the element whose index we want. For example, if I want the index of this 3, then in that case what I can do, I can basically do like this, no dot index of 3. Then in that case it is going to give me 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is the the index of element 3 is 3. So when I try to run this, it is going to give me as 3. So it is going to return the index value. If you see the docstring of this index function, returns the first index of the value. So as we are having so many 7s, but it is going to return the index value of where it has found the first occurrence of 7. So when I try to add a new cell and try to check what is the index of 7, so index of 7, so it is going to give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at 6th index, the first 7 is present. So it is going to give, when I try to run this particular cell, it is going to give me the index as 6. Why? Because this particular index function is going to take only the first occurrence into consideration, and it is going to return that particular index. And if I try to check the index of this particular element 6 present in this tuple number, then when I try to run this, then it is going to give me as 5. Why? Because this particular element 6 is present in the 5th index. Now coming to accessing of elements. So how do we access elements? There are two techniques. One is indexing and another one is slicing. So indexing, when we use indexing, we use indexing only when we try to extract only one element. But if you want to extract a group of elements, then in that case we use the concept of slicing. So as I've told you in my previous videos, whenever we go from left hand side to the right hand side, we follow 0 based indexing, and when we come from right hand side to the left hand side, we follow 1 based indexing, that is a negative. As in order to understand it better, what we can do is consider this indexing by linking it with the coordinate axis. So whenever we look at the coordinate axis, we'll be having both the positive axis and the negative axis. So when the extreme left and the extreme left of the x-axis is the negative x direction, and in the downward direction of y-axis is nothing but the negative y. Upward is positive y, and towards the right hand side is the positive x. So this is how it works. So whenever we are going from left hand side to the right hand side, that is, we are going into the positive direction of x, then in that case it follows 0 based, and we are going in positive, so positive. Whenever we are going from right hand side to the left hand side, In that case, it follows a negative one based indexing in negative direction. Why? We are going towards the left hand side, which we are going towards the negative x direction as far as coordinate axis is concerned. So that is how it works. So number of 0 will give me the first element present inside the tuple number. Number of 5 will give me the element which is present at the fifth index, and number of 3 will give me the element which is present at the third index of number tuple. Now slicing. Why do we use slicing? In order to extract more elements, more than one element. So when we specify, so basically this colon is nothing but, this colon is nothing but is known as the slicing operator. So this slicing operator will take three arguments. One is the starting index, stop index, and the step index. Starting index will tell you at what point we have to start slicing. Stop index will tell you at what point we have to stop slicing. And step value will tell you by how much, by what index value we should skip the values between them. For example, if I specify 0 to 5 with a step of 1, then in that case it is 0 to 5 with a step of 2. Then in that case, what it is going to do is it is going to print every alternate number, that is 1, 3 and 5, and it is going to skip 2, 4 and 6. So when I specify only the slice operator, it is going to when I try to run this, it is going to return all the elements present inside this particular number. 0 to 3. 0 as in here I have specified the start index and the stop index. So I am telling the Python interpreter to start slicing at the 0th index and to stop slicing at 3rd index. But here there is a rule. Whenever we are slicing with the start and the stop index, the starting index is inclusive and the stopping index is exclusive. So it is going to, as we have specified the stopping index as 3, it is going to slice only till the second index. That is, so it is going to return only the elements which are present at the indexes 0, 1 and 2. Next comes, so when I specify 3 colon, that is only the starting index, then in that case it is going to start slicing from that starting index to the last one. This colon minus 1 is basically used to reverse the elements. For example, if I give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when I use this colon minus 1, then in that case it is going to give us a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is going to reverse the elements present inside the particular tuple. Now as I have specified the starting index here, now I am going to specify the stopping index. Here when I specify the stopping index only, then it is going to start from the start slicing from the start, and it is going to end till the 3rd index. Why? Because this the stopping index is exclusive. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it is going to return all the elements present at the indexes 0, 1, 2 and 3. This is how tuples work, and these are the different built-in functions, and this is how we slice and index as far as a tuple is concerned. Thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed, and hit the bell icon for more notifications and videos. And the link for this particular notebook will be uploaded on my GitHub, and the link for the same will be given in the description of this particular video. And if you have any doubts, please do reach out to me onto my email address, which is given in the description of this video. Please stay safe, keep learning and keep growing. Bye bye.